The next item is item number 15, application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, docket number 15-2290, block 1230, lot 133, 476 Amsterdam Avenue in the Upper West Side, Central Park West Historic District, a neo-Gothic-style apartment building designed by Tom and Wilson and built in 1880 to 81. This is an application to install awnings. This was also read into the record on April 29th and is being presented for the first time today.
Commissioner Chair, and also the Preservation staff. So this is an application for 473 Amsterdam Avenue, located at the corner of West and Third Amsterdam Avenue. Proposal is to install awnings at these locations at the ground floor. So the building was built as a flats apartment building. Tax photo shows that around 1930s, storefronts were installed at the base, but probably are not original to the building. So the application is to install four. This is a plan section showing the locations of four retractable awnings. Yeah, those are existing. So these are the awnings here. 2, 3, 4. I'll introduce the restaurateur and the architect to run through the whole presentation.
Hearing open, please. Motion, second. Thank you. Go ahead.
My name is Margaret Garcia, the architect and applicant for this project. So the application is to apply for awnings at the basement, just above the basement level, the restaurant level. The building itself has an existing lower section at the front of the building that extends 4.5 feet from the base of the building out to the sidewalk. And so the awnings will be essentially over those areas. We do have lettering on the awnings, and there you see a section of the awning facing from the building out into the sidewalk. These are the historical photos of the building. This one actually is only from 83rd Street facing south, so you really can't see the face of the building, but the other one here shows several additions, and this one here shows several additions on the building. And these are photos of the existing building right there, and this is a Photoshop showing those lines as they would be applied to the face of the building. And close up of that.
So do all the awnings extend over a depressed area?
These three awnings do, but when you get to this area right here, there is a built-up area over the we call moat, the depressed area. So this actually is at level with the sidewalk.
But you have to go down steps there as well to get into the building, correct?
You have to go down steps down here behind that lady, yes.
Okay,
right there.
thank you.
Would the awnings be mounted below that brownstone string course?
The awnings are, because of the height of the brownstone course, we're going to have to, and also because of the restrictions for the building department and 8-foot requirement from the sidewalk to any kind of hard surface. That point right there is exactly 8 feet above the sidewalk.
So what is the purpose of the awning? Is it like for signage, or is it shape? What are you?
It's for protection of the area. There is a sidewalk cafe in this area. Actually, it also extends out during the summer months into the sidewalk. Okay, David Honor.
Hi, my name is David Honor. I'm the restaurant owner of Fred since 1997. To answer your question, it's something we've always wanted. Historically, these were all small stores, and in working with Olivia from Landmarks and speaking with Community Board 7 and Landmarks West, we felt the smaller awnings historically matched what was at the building. The we're a small neighborhood restaurant, and it makes us feel like we're a small neighborhood restaurant instead of one or two or three very large awnings, which make us look, like a bank or anything else. And again, historically, from that one picture that Margaret showed you, there were 3, 4, 5 smaller businesses, and we thought that's the best way to get the approval for it.
Okay.
One last question. Yeah, so just in terms of effectiveness though, so if you're down low,
Right.
is that awning really, and the angle is very slight, how is that, can that actually, for example, is that giving you any shade? Is that providing what you want?
It's giving us, it's not an ideal project because it's a very unique building because we are subterranean, and also if you're walking from north to south, the sidewalk does slope down. There's no perfect solution for this in terms of the audit because of the height restrictions, but yes, it does give us some relief.
Would you want to be continuous if you had your others?
As I had said to Arlene in the landmarks meeting, we're a nice part of the community for the past 17 years. We want something that the community approves and landmarks approves. We're moldable or bendable, whichever way is, we're not looking to, cause a big stir with anyone. If that's what you would think would be more appropriate, sure. It doesn't bother me either way. I think adding something in, well,
Okay. No.
Another point I want to make
Yeah.
is that there are existing exposed conduits that service these lanterns that are here on the face of the building, and what we're going to do is pull them back into the interior of the building so that they only look through at the lanterns, so you won't see continuous rail across there. We're adding a couple of awnings down, a couple of lanterns down there as well to brighten up that corner, which is kind of a dark corner at that end.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, we'll do testimony. We'll be back to you. Arlene Simon. Let's see what kind of deal.
I love their presentation, very flexible, very bendable. I suppose I'm not quite as flexible or bendable, but the C of A committee appreciates the applicant's architect and who's presented a retractable, appropriate awning design that will not alter a significant 19th century building. Documentation reveals the installation of awnings and pull-down gates in years past on this building, and we applaud the owner for cleaning up the building upon purchase of the lease in 1997, a process that included removing landmark violations. The challenges of the space have resulted in a strong effort to create an appropriate plan, which the applicant agrees would be improved even more so. While we do support the approval of the 4 navy blue awnings, the committee recommends that the awnings placement be reconsidered. The smaller awnings duplicate past additions and do not protrude into the public way. However, given that the restaurant is below grade, we question whether the 8-foot requirement that results in the proposed placement should be measured from the bottom of the moat rather than from the sidewalk, so as to drop the awnings below the belt course. This would expose the lintels and the building's architectural character. The owner understands the value of exposing these elements and is eager to implement this recommendation. The 8-foot measurement is simply a question of technicality based on standards set by the Department of Buildings. Overall, the committee finds the proposed installation unobtrusive and cohesive. We support the approval of the application, though request the Commission clarify particular technical restraints to facilitate the lowering of the awning below the belt course, as this would encourage a continuous flow and allow the restaurant to capitalize on its special corner location. It's a neighborhood restaurant that we go to, we enjoy, and is a friendly place, as you can see, how flexible it is.
Okay. What's, what's the name of the restaurant? Fred's, that's easy to remember, okay. Okay, so the community board also recommends approval. And you've obviously done your homework in that community, not only your homework in that community, but been a good citizen. I think this 8-foot thing, may take a look. It makes sense to me that it should be measured from the bottom of the moat, but maybe we can have that reconsidered. But if we can't, we can't. I mean, there's nothing you can do. But if we can, I'd like to approve it with that being explored by the staff. Fred,
Glad I get to go first.
your namesake here.
Although I think any restaurant named Fred's should get a clear pass and a unanimous vote. I think it probably will, too. I would support, and I'm glad that Arlene brought that point up about the technicality of the height above the sidewalk. I think it makes a lot of sense if it's possible. But I think that we should approve it as is so that you don't come back if that's not possible. But it would be preferable to lower it below the belt course, of course. And my own eye tells me that, you know, most restaurants, they're continuous affairs. I don't think it has to be little shop versus big shop kind of place to have a continuous awning. I think I have an awning on my own private deck on my roof that's bigger than this. So I would support it. Again, if you want it. If you don't want it, that's fine with me too. But I just think it looks odd to have these little discontinuous pieces of awning. And I think also it's odd not to have them cover doors. I mean, so anyway, again, all that staff work, I think this is a nice improvement to the neighborhood.
Libby?
I think it's an appropriate spot for awnings. What I would ask is that you work with staff to have a better layout that reflects what's underneath them, and perhaps consider only putting signage over the doors so that it really is clear that this is one establishment and this is where you get in, as opposed to a number of smaller establishments.
Michael?
I think I agree with Fred on the single awning configuration. I absolutely agree with my colleagues about trying to find out if it can go under the string course. But if you have 4 of these things, you're going to have the people who are trying to get away from the sun, you know, in the gaps. So it would actually be more efficient for you to have just one.
John?
Yeah, I can support it with those changes that both Fred and Michael have suggested, and I think that's the way to go. And I also agree that I think we should approve it and have the staff go either way, whatever the building department allows us to do. But it would be, I agree with testimony, it definitely would be nicer to have it under that string course.
Okay, see, I would say that we should approve it, assuming that they can do that. And if they can't, we can say that then it reverts back.
That's
But
what
we should say that we want to
basically
under that.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what he
so,
said, yeah.
okay, so then it's measured from what we call it,
The moat, the bottom of the moat.
From the moat. But otherwise,
Okay.
it's okay. And I think also continuous is better than.
Do you see enough? Okay. Okay. Hearing closed, motion and a second, and Fred will do Fred's Restaurant.
In the matter of a certificate of appropriateness for 476 Amsterdam Avenue in the Upper West Side, Central Park West Historic District, Block 1230, Lot 133. Application is to install awnings. I recommend approval. Noting that although currently the building does not possess traditional storefront openings at the Amsterdam facade, there is historic precedent for storefronts at this location. That some examples of basement storefronts with awnings can be found within the historic district. That the proposed awnings will identify the business at the lower level of this historic residential building and represent the historic evolution of buildings in the neighborhood from residential to mixed-use buildings. that the proposed awnings are small in scale and will not overwhelm the facade, that the proportions, loose skirts, open sides, solid color, and minimal signage of the proposed awnings recall the character of awnings historically used on other storefronts in this district, that the removal of the exposed conduit at the existing light fixtures will reverse an unsympathetic alteration and help unify the appearance of the base. What did we decide about continuous versus for, that if the owner or the applicant would like to have a continuous or not?
It's not what the proposal is, so it's a little tricky. If we're
To change it.
requiring them to do it
No,
continuous.
I'm saying if they wanted to.
So
Look at it.
So,
we can require the modification of trying to lower it
Yes,
and
that-
also maybe trying to correspond to door openings, but we can't require them
No.
to do the single awning
I'm not going to,
as part of the motion. so.
okay. So, working with staff,
Yes.
the applicant will investigate with the buildings department the prospect of lowering the awning below the string course, if acceptable. If not, the application as shown is approvable. Also, the applicant will work with staff to perhaps change the location of the 4 individual awnings, or even have one continuous awning at the wish of the applicant.
Second, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Approved. Thank you, it's all done. Thanks. Okay.
The next item is item number 16, application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, docket number 14-9114, block 1184, lot 7, 305 West 72nd Street, in the West End Collegiate Historic District Extension, a Renaissance Revival style building designed by Gaetan Aiello and built in 1912. This is an application to replace windows.